Hey there, everybody. PTPOP here, leading you out of the call center rabbit hole, one grain of truth at a time. And thanks for stopping by again and watching my channel. I have been reading a great book by the author Debbie Goldman, and the book is called Disconnected: Call Center Workers Fight for Good Jobs in the Digital Age. And Debbie was the director of the Call Center Workers of America Research Department. And I spoke with her briefly on the phone. This is a great book. This is her book. I urge you to buy it. It's on Amazon. It's also on Illinois Press. And I've only gotten through the first chapter, and I'm just livid when I read this and see where companies used to be and where they are today. So within this book, there is a poster or a flyer from the Call Center Workers of America, AFL-CIO. And I'll bring it up here on my screen. And it's an illustration, and it's titled, "Assembly Lines Are Only in Factories, Right? Wrong." Now, as I've said to you many times before over the last many years of talking to you about this, I say that call center jobs are the modern day sweatshops. You say sweatshop when you're raised and you go into history class, they tell you that sweatshops were in little immigrant children were working in the clothing mills all over the east coast of America, and they're being treated like slaves, and they were, dying and caught in the machines and things like that. That's where the original term came from. When I'm talking about modern day sweatshops, I'm talking about mental and emotional and sometimes physical and sexual abuse in these call centers. I've witnessed it. I've been in call centers off and on now for 20 years. Doesn't matter the industry you work in, they all treat everybody equally bad. So this is a flyer from Debbie Goldman's book, Disconnected, and I thought it was very powerful. It's a flyer put out by the Call Center Workers Union of America, or the Call Center Workers of America. It's a union, AFL-CIO. And the headline of this flyer reads, "Assembly lines are only in factories, right? Wrong." The employees in the picture on the left are a call center. The employees on the right are in a factory, an automobile factory. This is obviously a flyer from the late 70s, because the car on the right looks like it's like a 70, maybe a 78 Lincoln or something like that. And it reads under the first paragraph, or under the first picture left, first paragraph reads, "The employees in the picture on the left are as much part of an assembly line operation as the employees in the picture on the right. In both cases, they are constantly pushed towards greater and greater productivity, are subjected to over-supervision, harsh absentee control programs, and they must adhere to strict, unyielding schedules." Wow, it hasn't changed much in the last 50 years. The telephone worker in your town and the auto worker in Detroit have a lot in common. Both are appendages to a machine. Your telephone operator, like millions of other American workers, suffers from job pressures that exact a toll on the worker and his or her family and friends. And this has been going on for a long time, people, and it wasn't always like this. And as I start to read Debbie's book, I realized there was a time in our history the corporate world attempted to be somewhat fair to their employees and to their customers, and give their employees a fair shake, give them a pension, give them union representation. That's all gone. Unions are almost completely gone. They've been completely, almost eliminated from the workplace. Now these corporations can do whatever they want. Many telephone operators have a pleasant work environment, bright lights, soft music, comfortable chair, and a carpet on the floor, which is true. It's, I guess if you want to call that a pleasant work environment. But so long as there is a monotony, boredom, and repetition, machine-like qualities, job pressures exist, whether you work in a factory or a car factory. We want the bosses of business to know we are people, not machines. Again, that's from the Call Center Workers of America. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a member of a union. I used to be a member of the music union in Phoenix, Arizona when I lived out there. I didn't ever see any benefit to it unless you're really like an orchestra person playing in the Phoenix Philharmonic and things like that. I paid my dues and they really didn't do anything for me. You can't exactly walk into a restaurant and say, hey, I'm a union member, you got to pay me this per hour. And, you know, those people, I tried it once or twice and they're like, hey, we're not a union shop, buddy. You pound salt or take what we give you. So I stopped using it because I wasn't getting it. As I've said for years, these call centers treat each and every one of us like cogs in a machine. And somewhere between like 1960 and 1990, when technology stepped in, corporations started to see a way to make more profits by eliminating the human, by controlling the human, by watching them, by treating them like machines. And now what they're doing is they're attempting to replace every one of us in the call centers with AI, eliminating our jobs. And we've been slowly worked out of the picture, slowly pushed out of the picture, and people are losing their jobs. AT&T just announced huge layoffs. Amazon announced huge layoffs, and these layoffs always come at the end. Because that's usually when business is slow, and economic times right now are very unpredictable. So they always have layoffs last quarter of each year. And I found this flyer to be very powerful. And if I was a member of a call center that had the opportunity to unionize, I would unionize. I would go. Because you have no rights in a call center. They take your rights away. They strip it all away. They do whatever they want with you. And I can't begin to tell you how many times I was bullied and pushed around and mistreated, even sexually harassed. And it really is basing, demoralizing. It ruins your mental health. And like it says in the flyer, you do take it home with you. And I don't know how we got here. And this is one thing I'm trying to find out in this documentary of mine is how did we go from companies that somehow at least put on the face that they were trying to make things okay for their employees and their customers while they all made a profit. Somewhere in the last 50 years, it all got tossed in the trash and it's all become about profit. I don't know if it's such a thing as hyper-capitalism. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a fascist type thing where the corporations now run everything. It seems to be. And unfortunately, when I was a kid, I knew nothing about politics or fascism compared to communism, compared to Nazism, compared to capitalism. And now I have a better understanding of all of it, unfortunately. And I think we're turning towards more of a fascist state in this country. Corporations run everything. And they kind of oversee politicians and they oversee the government. And they push agendas, lobbyists and things. Though I'm not a political historian. I don't know what's going on out there. It's really bad. And let me know what you think of this flyer. If you've ever seen this, there's another one I'll make a video on. Let me know what you think. Do you feel like you're a cog in a machine when you're in a call center? Do you feel like your rights have been stripped away? Do you feel like you should have more time to go to the bathroom? Should you be treated with more dignity? Have more leeway in your job? I mean, these companies have gotten so massive and so big. They have millions and millions and millions of customers. All these companies do. There's no way in the world they could possibly give a good customer service representation over the phone in 7 minutes. So they may as well just cut their loss and say, hey, look, do what you can on the phone. If you can't get to everybody, that's fine. We're going to lose some people, but they're just going to call back. Now they're trying to get rid of everybody with AI. Now they try to treat us like robots. Now they're replacing us with actual robots. So I don't know what you think. Seems like no matter what we do, the blues is still going to get you. Segue to my new song you're listening to here. This is my song, Blues is Still Gonna Get You. Got a great video here on YouTube for it. Somebody hasn't stolen it already with AI. And leave a comment, give me the thumbs up, subscribe. Let me know if you feel like you're a cog in the machine. And I will see you in the next video. Hasta la vista, baby.
You can try to run and hide in the middle of the night by getting out of time.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Would you like fries with that? Would you like fries with that?